The story of the Strawberry Bandit of Summit County, Patrick Coughlin, is probably one of the most tragic Wild West histories I've ever heard of. And the story goes that at the time, he was born on the East Coast, but a lot of people were coming over to this part of Utah to start mining. And because he grew up around Park City, which was a rough and tumble mining community, a shanty town at the time, he quickly grew to be kind of a ruffian. A little outlaw. He would steal a little bit here and there, but he never really held anybody up at gunpoint. So him and two friends, George and Kennedy, they went out and stole a couple boxes of strawberries, and it was their goal to stomach as many as they could and then sell the rest for a markup, you know, make a little bit of money. Well, Kennedy is caught, and it's not that big a deal. The police are just questioning him, and he says, if you let me go, I'll tell you what Patrick Coughlin and his buddy George are planning on doing next. And the police say, were they not just stealing strawberries? And Kennedy is trying to trump it up, probably so he can be let off free by, you know, tipping the police off. And he says, they're planning on robbing a stagecoach or a train. Well, that's a hanging offense in the 1890s, especially out west. And the police say, we don't believe you, but we're going to go check it out. Don't let them know we're coming. We just want to have a talk with them. We don't really believe it. Well, Kennedy goes and he talks to them, and now they're under the impression that the police are going to come and gun them down. Because again, being a stagecoach robber, a big deal in the Wild West. So Kennedy is left out, and George and Coughlin both steal horses and start riding south along the back canyons that were used by the Wild Bunch and cattle rustlers and Butch Cassidy back in the day, only a few years prior. And actually, the Cassidy gang might have actually been out there at the time. Well, they lead them on a 200-mile-long horse chase, and along the way, apparently, Patrick Coughlin shoots two cops. One of them, he jumps out of a bush and shoots him. The other one, he just shoots along the path somewhere as he's in hot pursuit. And apparently there was another cop that jumped out, and Coughlin got the draw on him, and the cop put his hands up and said, please, I have a wife and kids. Don't shoot me. Just let me go. And apparently Patrick Coughlin did this. Well, eventually they caught up to him, and he surrendered. And they took him and his buddy George into custody. George was given life in prison because Coughlin took credit for shooting the two cops. And when they brought him into jail, you know, they said that you're going to be shot for this. You're going to have to be executed. And his mom comes and sees him on his last day on this earth, and she says, I want you to take this like a man. You know, she was crying the whole time. They stayed together until 2:30, and it was apparently a very nice meeting. They exchanged their last goodbyes and, you know, hugs all night. But the mom said, you did kill two police officers, and I don't want you to go out crying or cursing the world. And Patrick said, I would never dream of doing such a thing. And the newspapers commended him for the strength with which he was actually executed. They said they shot him in the chest, a firing squad, at a little grotto in a canyon 3 miles north of town. And apparently he didn't flinch or make any noise for 4 minutes, and he lived for 4 minutes after they struck his heart. Every bullet hit its mark. And that ended the story of the Strawberry Bandit of Summit County.